Welcome to today's video, where we'll be exploring the rise and fall of one of the most iconic companies in the photography industry, Kodak. Kodak! The name used to be synonymous with innovation, quality, and success. But as we all know, times change, and Kodak failed to change with them. Let's take a trip down memory lane and revisit the early days of Kodak. Back then, they were leading the charge in revolutionizing the way we capture and preserve memories. They were pioneers in the industry, creating products and services that made photography accessible to the masses. But as the world moved towards digital photography, Kodak found itself struggling to keep up. They were slow to adapt to the changing landscape, and as a result, their market share began to shrink. And before they knew it, they were no longer the industry leaders they once were. Throughout this video, we'll be examining the reasons behind Kodak's downfall, as well as the lessons we can all learn from their mistakes. From complacency to missed opportunities, we'll dive deep into the factors that led to Kodak's demise. So grab a seat, relax, and let's explore the fascinating story of Kodak. And if you want to stay updated on our latest videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss out. We have just scratched the surface of Kodak's history, but let's dive deeper into the early years of the company. Kodak's founder George Eastman revolutionized photography with his invention of the Kodak camera in 1888. This camera was the first to use roll film, which made photography more accessible and affordable for the average person. Kodak continued to innovate, creating the first color film in 1935, and the first instant camera, the Polaroid, in 1948. With each invention, Kodak solidified its position as the leader in photography. But Kodak's success was built on a business model that relied on film sales. As digital photography began to rise in popularity, Kodak faced a new challenge. They were slow to adapt to the new technology, and their reliance on film sales proved to be their downfall. Despite these challenges, Kodak still holds a special place in the hearts of many photographers and enthusiasts. Their contributions to the world of photography cannot be overstated. So what can we learn from Kodak's rise and fall? It's important to stay ahead of the curve when it comes to new technology. Kodak's failure to adapt is a cautionary tale for any company. But let's not forget the groundbreaking inventions and contributions that Kodak made to the world of photography. Now let's dive into the fall of Kodak. As we discussed earlier, Kodak initially tried to enter the digital market, but their attempts were not successful. So what went wrong? Well, for starters, Kodak was late to the game. By the time they started to invest in digital technology, other companies had already established themselves in the market. Kodak's products were also more expensive and less user-friendly than their competitors. But it wasn't just a matter of being late to the game. Kodak also struggled to fully embrace digital technology. They were so focused on protecting their film business that they failed to see the potential of digital photography. Kodak's leadership was hesitant to invest in digital technology, and they were slow to adapt to changing consumer preferences. This reluctance to fully embrace digital technology ultimately led to Kodak's downfall. The company filed for bankruptcy in 2012, and its assets were sold off to various companies. It's a cautionary tale of what can happen when a company fails to adapt to changing times. But what are the consequences of Kodak's failure? Well, for one thing, it's a reminder that no company is too big to fail. Kodak was once a household name, but their inability to adapt to new technology led to their demise. It's also a reminder of the importance of innovation and staying ahead of the curve. In today's fast-paced world, companies need to be constantly innovating and adapting if they want to survive. So what can we learn from Kodak's downfall? Well, for starters, it's important to keep an eye on emerging technologies and to be willing to invest in them. Companies that are too focused on protecting their current business may miss out on new opportunities. It's also important to be willing to adapt and change with the times. The world is constantly evolving, and companies need to be able to evolve with it if they want to stay relevant. As we look back on Kodak's story, we can't help but analyze the mistakes that were made and the lessons that can be learned from them. One of the biggest takeaways is the importance of innovation and staying ahead of the curve in today's rapidly changing business landscape. Kodak's reluctance to embrace digital photography and shift away from traditional film ultimately led to their downfall. But it's not just about innovation. It's also about being willing to take risks and embrace new technologies. Kodak had the opportunity to invest in digital photography early on, but they were hesitant and ultimately missed out on a huge opportunity. So what can we learn from Kodak's story? We need to be willing to adapt and evolve with the times. We need to constantly be looking for ways to innovate and stay ahead of the competition. And most importantly, We need to be willing to take risks and embrace new technologies, even if they may seem daunting or unfamiliar at first. As you reflect on Kodak's story, think about what lessons you can apply to your own life and career. How can you stay ahead of the curve and continue to grow and evolve? It's time to take action and embrace the future. Hey there, welcome back. Now that we've covered the importance of innovation and adaptation for businesses, let's recap the key takeaways from this video. Firstly, we discussed how businesses can leverage AI to streamline their operations and enhance their customer experience. Secondly, we explored the potential risks and ethical considerations surrounding the use of AI in the workplace. And finally, we touched on the future of AI and its potential impact on industries and society as a whole. It's clear that innovation and adaptation are crucial for businesses to stay ahead of the curve in this rapidly evolving technological landscape. As we look towards the future, it's important to consider the role that AI and other emerging technologies will play in shaping our world. So, whether you're a business owner, a tech enthusiast, or simply curious about the future of technology, we hope this video has provided some valuable insights and food for thought. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, keep exploring the possibilities of AI and all that it has to offer.